Welcome everyone. We are the Full Stack 5 and today we are very happy to present you our educational platform. I am Tibbs. I'm a project manager who wanted to combine team dynamics with coding to deliver tech projects that have a positive impact for society and companies.
Hello, I'm Roxana. I have 5 years of experience as a design engineer. I am passionate about mathematics and problem solving, and I want to use these skills to build great tech products.
Hello, I'm Joseph. I'm a master's graduate in computer science with experience working as an IT technician, research assistant, and university administrator working with databases. I'm ready to start my journey in software development.
Hi, I'm Jen. I used to be a primary school teacher, but I left the profession after coding sparked my interest in problem solving and creativity.
Hello, I am Ilker. For the last 8 years, I worked as a metallurgist and I enjoyed writing formulas in Excel. Therefore, I decided to learn how to code, solve problems, and deliver great software. So as the pandemic caused disruptions in every aspect of our lives, education has been challenged. Our brief was to create a platform which would help students as well as teachers during these days. We particularly like this quote from Nelson Mandela: "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world."
The problem introduced by remote learning is a gap in knowledge mainly experienced by kids attending primary schools. There are over 6 million pupils in UK whose learning was affected by the recent pandemic. This accelerated the need to rely on technology more than ever in order to ensure a quick and efficient way of online collaboration between teachers, pupils, and parents.
So our solution was an app that allows a teacher to assign work to their class that can close those gaps or even extend their learning, with a short feedback loop as it is marked and returned to the pupil on the same platform. The name of our app is HomeLearn Hut, and you can see the logo here. So as we said, this is an educational platform for teachers, pupils and parents. It is tactile with a neat annotation tool to allow for completion and marking. There is easy monitoring of pupil progress, and it also has a positive environmental impact as less paper means more trees.
And now this is the time we are very excited about to show you our demo. So we wanted our platform to be intuitive, simple to use, easy to navigate, and scalable in the future. Here we have two options, so a sign up button and a login one. As we already have an account, we're just gonna go through this login button. This brings us through this authentication process using Auth0, where we can directly connect to the site. And we're gonna go through that through the full stack 5. We arrived to one of our central page with all the information, and I'm passing the power over to Jen.
Thanks, Tibbs. So as you can see here, we've arrived on the homework feed. So at the top of the feed, you can see there's a quick greeting to the teacher. And then above that, we have a navigation bar. So in the navigation bar, we have a notification section. We have a messenger section, and then there's a drop-down menu there with our profile and settings. So in the profile, we just have a quick look. We can see there's class teacher, class assigned, pupil progress. Now, with the class assigned, as a primary school teacher gets a different class every year, by default, we're showing the most current class. So if we just go back to the drop down, we can see there's a quick settings there as well. That just has the privacy details. And now we'll move on to the main content. So on the homework feed page, we can see that every piece of work has uploaded over the school year. So if we just have a quick scroll, we can see there's lots to go through. So we'll just stop on one just to demo what's above there. So on this one, for instance, we have the subject title, so religious education, the title of the work, which is the Diwali work. We have the date set by the teacher, the work itself that needs to be completed, and then underneath a quick comment for the teacher to tell the students what they've got to do, as well as a date due that they need to get it back by. So this would have been set before Christmas break, for instance, which is why it says first day back. So if we look through, as I said, we see that there's lots of work that the teacher would have to go through. So what we've done is implemented a filter section. So if we look on the left-hand side there, Primary school teachers have their schedules split up into terms. So we have autumn 1 and 2, spring 1 and 2, and summer 1 and 2. So instead of having to flick through the whole year's worth of work, the teacher can click on just a certain term. So let's go for spring part 1. And they can see the work there that was just set through the months of January and February. So it's a much shorter search they've got there. And if we were to close out that filter section, we can see there's a reset button there. And if we click on that, it brings back every piece of work that they've set again. So we're going to click on that first piece of work there for continents and oceans, and Ilka's going to talk us through the classroom page.
Thank you, Jen. So on the classroom page, we implemented a dashboard where we can see the individual pupils with their avatars and the title of the homework displayed. Their student card will give visual information to the teacher whether or not they submitted their homework, or if the teacher reviewed the homework. If they haven't submitted their homework, their card will be grayed out and the teacher will not be able to click on it. If we click on one of the people who submitted their homework, this will take us to the homework review page where Roxana will demonstrate the functionality.
So now we are checking Ivy's submitted homework. We can see that she partially completed it, so I will use the green color to tick off her correct answers and the pink one to underline her mistakes. Europe is the correct answer for question A, so I tick it. I can see that Africa is also correct, but oh wait, she made a typo, so I don't need to tick it. I will undo my tick, choose the pink color, and then underline her typo. I carry on like this, and once I finish marking the full paper, I want to leave a note for Ivy, such as, well done, great effort, but please check your spelling mistakes. After that, I press the mark button and I can see that the app highlights the fact that I marked her homework. If I want to go back to check on this later on, before a teacher's parents meeting, I can do so because the app saves the notes and the markings. Now Tips will show you the next feature.
Thanks, Roxy. So we could see how easy it was to use this Canvas tool, which is also adapted to motor skills ability for children. And the last functionality on this dashboard would be to look at an option of when, for example, a student or pupils made a mistake. Let's take the example of Isaac. So Isaac had submitted a piece of homework which is totally empty. So we want to have the ability to let him resubmit his work. So we could put an optional command, please Isaac, can you resubmit this piece of work? And click on the button to release the functionality and allow him to reload it later. And then now we can see like the card is grayed out. So Isaac hasn't any work submitted. And you have also on screen a functionality telling you the current status, no work submitted. And now, Joseph is going to walk you through the last part of our functionality with the upload function.
We've seen how easy it is for teachers to mark homework using our Canvas. Now let's look at uploading a new piece of homework. If we click on the plus icon, this brings us to the homework upload. Let's enter a title. English conjunctions. And then let's put a comment which all the children will see. Now for the day, we deliberately decided not to use a date picker and allow the date to be free typed instead, so that the teacher can decide how to write it in a way that young students will most easily understand. So we will simply write Monday, since that's when the homework is due. Now let's browse our computer for the homework file. Here it is ready. Now, if we click on Submit, this is uploaded to an S3 bucket on Amazon AWS. Now we see it renders on the homework feed page. Now, if we go to this piece of homework and click on it, we can see, as expected, no one has submitted their homework since It has only just been set. Now that we're finished with our demo, let's log out and we'll go through our journey. Over to Roxana.
Thank you, Joseph. I hope that you enjoyed our demo. We are very proud of what we managed to achieve in just 2 weeks, and now I would like to show you what our journey looks like. As the 5 of us have never worked before as a team, we started off by trying to get to know each other. We shared our personal values with the rest of the team. We agreed to have a stand-up every morning, as well as a WIFL, which stands for What I Feel Like Expressing, and then close the day with a retro. We decided not to have a team leader, but rotate the role of coordinating the stand-ups and retros on a daily basis. Our decision-making process incorporated the 3-2-1 points system and the majority wins approach. Tripwires were set a few times during our implementation stage to ensure that we don't spend too much time on a specific task. Then we did a brainstorming session to come up with ideas, did some research, and started planning our app development. We implemented the Disney ideation method, starting with the dreamer stage, where all of our ideas were discussed. We then moved on to the realist stage, where we asked ourselves what we can achieve during our time frame, followed by the critic stage, where we looked into our knowledge gaps.
As part of our research, we created a variety of user personas to represent the people who would be using our product. And then from this, we made our user stories. This allowed us to put ourselves in the shoes of those potential users, such as Mrs. Morse, who would like a more digital classroom, versus Mr. Stewart, who needs things to be very user-friendly. Now, as I was previously a primary school teacher, I also brought some personal experience to the table of wants and needs that would be really beneficial.
Once we went through our Disney ideation and created our user personas, we set out to plan our application through wireframing. Initially, these were hand-drawn. Later, we used Sigma to create some mock-ups. Overall, we had 3 stages in our wireframing, and we also used draw.io for this. We discussed the control flow of the application so that before we started coding, we knew how our application was to behave. We agreed on the shape of the data and created a specification for us to adhere to.
Regarding planning, we started with Trello to share our values, expectations, strengths, and weaknesses. Then we moved to Jira, which for us was offering more structure. So we had a roadmap, an advanced Kanban board, and some analytics. On the dev side, we had a Git strategy where we were branching to implement our stories and features, raising pull requests to review the work as a team, and merging when we had complete functionality. This really ensures continuous delivery and continuous deployment. On the project management side, we use the Agile methodology. This was tailored to our needs, so we had short sprints of 2 days because we wanted to accommodate our 2 weeks deadline, a clear focus during those sprints on research, creating a site skeleton, or implementing our live platform. We worked through an iterative process with feedback loops coming from both users and peers, and we really focus on prioritizing the work, breaking down the complexity to ensure our MVP could be delivered, as well as our other stretch goals.
For our front end, we used industry standard technologies like React to build our user interface because it is fast and scalable, and test our components with Jest and React testing library. For user authentication, we used Auth0 and deployed our site on Netlify so it can be accessed anywhere. For annotation functionality, we used Canvas, which allowed homework submission to be fully integrated with the platform. For our backend, we used .NET Core and C# as it is statically typed language, which has proven reliability, and PostgreSQL database, which is hosted on Heroku. We also chose Amazon S3 service for our file storage because it is efficient and economical. So our journey doesn't finish here. We are looking at extending our platform to further learning functionalities. In our next sprint, we want to implement the feedback we received from our research. We also want to add a few features like quick guide for new users and improve responsiveness. In addition, we would like to add user profiles for children and parents, a notification system, WebSocket for live messages, and reporting functionality to help teachers and parents to see the pupils' progress.
Thank you for viewing our presentation. Feel free to contact any of us through LinkedIn or the School of Code.